Okay. There we go.
We're not hearing you, Jim.
Oh, Jim, check your audio. Bruce says he can't hear you.
Yeah, I can't hear him either. Uh-oh, he's got the reading glasses. It's getting serious now.
I can hear Jim. All right. Yeah, you're unmuted. And it should say ask to unmute on your end, Jim. So anybody else? I can hear him.
I'm hearing everyone but Jim.
Yeah, me too.
I lost the video of Jim and I can't hear him now either.
All right.
I can't hear Jim.
You got me now?
I got you.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Jim, we've got you.
All right. Thank you. Well, what I was saying is I'm on a road trip with my daughter to pick up a dog in California. And what's great about that is all the firsts, looking through the world through her eyes. First time she's seen something, we're looking at palm trees and how they're groomed and all these things. And it's just amazing if you can take a minute to enjoy some of the firsts in life. So don't forget to do that. It's important. The topic for tonight, and I already kind of versed Rod on this because I know it's hard to hear me when I'm in the car and uncomfortable and all. The topic for tonight is, what are you doing right now with your goals as it relates to next year? Now, if you were on the call about a month ago with Rachel, she talked about, what you're doing today, you will see the results of in 90 days. So what I'm curious about is who's working on their goals right now for the next 90 days. What's happening in your lives, in your business, as you're planning out 2024, and what does that look like? And, my text message to some of you, I said, plan on participating tonight. So what I want to ask Rod to do is go through the room and hear from each one of you and say, this is what I'm working on for next year. And if you don't have anything, just say, I don't have anything yet. And then I want you to use this call to serve as your reminder that you need to start mapping out what your next year is going to look like and what you could be working on to further your business, to further your goals, get that much closer. Think about all the things that we've worked on this year, all the topics we've had, all the progress we've made, and work towards accomplishing a productive and strong 2024, right? So I'm guessing some of you have already started and some of you haven't. So let this call be your reminder to start now and get working towards those goals so that you could see those results in 90 days. I know I'm working on my own personal business plans. I'm already thinking about, what does January look like for me? What does business look like in February? What do I want the results to be by March? Okay. So that's where we're at. And that's what I want you to be thinking about. So Rod, if you could take it from here and go around the room, I'm going to mute myself, make sure the rest of my electronics are good. And I'd like everybody to kind of present what they're working on.
Sounds great. Thanks, Jim. All right.
Yeah.
Well, because you just got this, the rest of you on this call, and please don't anyone start bailing out for some reason now. Okay, you're going to be put on the spot, and that's okay. I will give you mine first, but as a lead in, I'm going to go back to last week's call. And Rachel wasn't on the call, and she's going to be joining us late, but she was doing a photo shoot in preparation for next year. She was doing a big photo shoot, getting all of her media content built out in one solid day. And we were joking, and we thought, how many how many wardrobe changes is Rachel going to do in order to do that, to build out her programming for next year? And we all took guesses on that. And I guessed 18, Jim guessed 35, Mr. Spilson, you guessed 20, Taylor guessed 15, Jocelyn guessed 7. If others of you jumped on the chat, I missed that before we closed out. I had guessed, what did I guess? I guessed 18. So I was out there. Rachel had 12 outfit changes. Okay. And she was able to keep it to 12 because she did black backgrounds. So she thought out, she's making the best use of her time, even with that. Yeah. So that's what we've got going on there. So Taylor, you win if you're paying attention to this. Taylor guessed closest with 15. So that was a very good one. And now a little bit of business on the front end before this is giving you guys a chance to get your thoughts in order here, what you're doing for next year. We're already looking at next year, but we're also looking at Christmas. Christmas falls on a Monday this year, and we will not be doing a Christmas Day call, but we will be doing the following day. So on Monday and on January 2nd, the day after New Year's Day, we will be making up our typical Monday night call on Tuesday night. Same time, same place, but we will be one day delayed. So we made the mistake of missing a week on 2 occasions in the last year and a half, and every one of us felt it. So we're not going to do that. We're going to be making up those holidays on the following day. Okay. So that being said, I'll launch first what I'm doing in preparation for next year. And most of you know that I had a little hiccup in my plans last year. I had a great vacation planned for the beginning of August, and my wife she has to plan her time 9 months in advance, and she had planned on 2 weeks off in August, and we had these great plans. And instead, I spent a week in the hospital having my chest cut open and replumbed my heart. So I've been out of commission for what I had envisioned even for this year. So this year has just been recovery. I've gone into recovery mode. But what some of you don't know is what I had back in June committed to a John Maxwell certified trainer conference in Florida to be a certified John Maxwell trainer and speaker and coach. And that training was it was 5 days after my open heart surgery. And I went to online instead of going to Florida. I did an online training session. So I actually did it from home 5 days after surgery. And that was a 3.5 day, 8-hour-a-day seminar that I attended. And that in preparation for my new career, part of what I want to do is, I'm gearing down. I'm supposed to be retired, but I'm just having fun and helping as many people as I can. That's my goal. My mission is to empower ordinary people to accomplish extraordinary things. That's my mission in life. And so what I'm doing is, how can I reach more people? And John Maxwell was one of the challenges I had challenged myself to do. I want to do at least 4 speaking events, paid speaking events next year. And so what I'm doing right now, this month, is I've been working on my biography and my content to have different things for different venues and reaching out to different organizations already to get some speaking gigs going. So that's what I have been doing. Number 1 is recovery and taking care of myself and, really honing in on my health, my motivations, and what's going on there. Keeping family close, resetting my goals, retooling myself to accomplish those goals. But my goals are 4 speaking engagements for next year and what I can do to get everything in alignment for that. So that's mine. And as Jim said, we are going to have to pull together now. And let's see, Taylor, I'm listening to you or reading your message. Terrible night to have to jump out for a while, just pulled up from family member's house. But she's going to be jumping back on. So we'll pull her out. Riley, I'm going to let you go first because you and I had a conversation today. And I know that you have been making preparations for next year. And again, Rachel, this is all on you.
Of course, I have to go next. Thanks.
You have to go.
Okay, so I guess, so my goals right now that I'm working on, I'm finishing up a business plan for a business that I'm hoping to launch or planning to launch in May of 2024. So I have that almost finished up and I need to wrap up the final parts of it. Another goal of mine is to obtain a school bus by the end of December. That's part of my business plan. And then I will be spending January through March renovating it. And then I have some fitness goals that I probably need to get a bit clearer, precise on exactly what I want accomplished in the next 3 months. So that's those are my goals right now.
That's perfect. And if we have more time, I want to come back to that because I think it might be helpful for you to have the group weigh in on what your business plan encompasses. But we'll come back to that. So that's good. I like that. You're tying in personal goals to business goals. Jim Spilson, you are up next, and I'm going to call on these people who have their cameras on first.
Lucky us.
You bet.
So I will start off and say that I'm going to air my dirty laundry. I am a horrible goal setter. Professionally, I've never had to do it because I wasn't in a role. I've been more on the project management side of things, but the new position that I took back in the spring does involve sales and strategy. So I am being forced now professionally to spend more time thinking and making strategic plans for 2024. So I'm thankful for that it is forcing me to do that. So I'm starting to learn a little bit on the professional side about what I need to do from a strategic sales standpoint. And it's making me feel a little more guilty about not doing it on my personal side. It has also put me in a position that I have a goal by the end of this year to get my project management certification, my PMP. I have personal goal by the end of December to get that certification complete. On the personal side, I started off with the Cush Cube business. I spoke with Jim about this a little bit last week. That has kind of transitioned into a new product, kind of same space, that is a little bit more aligned with my goals and values. And I have connected with the company and have a kind of what I feel is a better opportunity to help them grow a new product or new products. And I am starting to now lay out markets. I'm starting to research different client base and starting to research a bit more into the product. And I have to start planning ahead because as I go out and look for sales calls, I have to understand regions, clients, different types of clients to go after. So I am starting to plan a bit more ahead. It is only weeks at this point, but I feel like I should be looking a little further ahead into probably 1 and 2 months out so that I have a little longer term definitive goals with this new product line.
Excellent. And thanks for airing your dirty laundry. I was just so that you can feel better about that. I used to be one that I always felt I was better winging it. And I would have long-term goals, broad goals, but I didn't break it down. And as I got older and wiser, I saw the value in breaking it down. So you'll find that as well, I think. So, but we're all on our own journey and we get there in different ways, and that's okay too. So, but thanks for sharing that, Jim. Bruce, I'm going to you next because I know you got some stuff coming up already and more in the works.
Thanks, Rod. A couple of things. Number one, reassessed some of my diet, what I want to eat, what I don't want to eat, with my wife. Was pretty happy about that today. Number two, I have identified 4 firms that I want to approach with a proposition for doing briefing work, appellate briefing work for them as an outsource. Three, I've identified an individual at Rock Creek Ranch who will be my target for a proposal for doing a training business with them. Five or four, I just got back from Gunsight Ranch in Arizona, and I'm integrating all of the people that I met into email distribution lists and starting to reinforce the networking I did there to try to generate more business in 2024. And then this Saturday, I've got a option or a seminar with Taylor, and we're looking forward to doing that. We brought a number of new folks into as potential targets for my services and for Taylor's products. So other than that, I've just been screwing off.
Sounds like a really good way to start things, Bruce. Heidi, I know you've got lots of stuff going on. So I know just by looking at your biography and your profile, you are a busy lady. So what are you projecting for next year?
For next year, what's in the work? So I'm finishing up Rachel's book. That's just a chapter to go. I'm finishing up some education that's due here for my national board. That'll be done this week. I'm going to do testimonies of some clients, have a list here, and I've contacted the videographer, put those together. I hope to have at least half of those three put together by the end of the year. I'm currently in a 5-day course for creating an online program by Laura Kennedy. And so that goal there is to be able to know how to like put that all together, click, click, boom. So with that, I have a few things to do as far as creating exercise videos and then putting those together, as well as what I do on a daily basis, which is my non-negotiables for my health and well-being. See about 6 to 8 clients a day, be a mom, wife, things like that. Yeah, got it.
That's awesome. I like that you tie in the education and your continuing development, your professional development. I think that's important for all of us to, have that as part of our goals. So
well, I guess there's actually no way around it. They make us do it.
Yeah. My wife's the same way. She has things she has to do every year to stay certified. All right. As I promised, I'm going to video first. Thank you so much, Heidi. It's nice to see how busy everyone is, and we can all juggle that stuff. Chris, you are up. I'm seeing a lot of posts from you these days, so I know you're busy. Go ahead and unmute.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I unmuted. No, it's busy. Just trying to keep focused on all of it, since I have two kind of separate businesses between the watch business and the metal and the casting business. I kind of have to transition back and forth. I have a coin shop that opened up from a guy that I know that does exactly what I do. He does probably 30,000 ounces of casting a month, but he likes some of the stuff. He opened up a new coin shop, does a bunch of eBay lives, and he's asked for quite a bit of product in a short amount of time. So most of my free time, which after I get off this call, I'll be finishing up some pieces. So hopefully I can take them in order tomorrow. But it's just time management's a big thing. Having a full-time day job and spending lots of time on the road in traffic and coming home and back and forth, and weekend times. Fortunately, travel ball is slowing down. So this month I should be able to catch up on a lot of things, and keeping the business present is what I'm doing on Instagram, trying to keep everything, so people see it on a regular basis. Algorithms need to see constant movement. I was in the Lions Den today. Somebody said, post up your Instagrams. I don't go in there very often anymore. And when I do, I see it. So I post it up. So there's another 20 followers that come in. And just engagement is something that's hard to keep going. One thing on Instagram, you can buy followers, you can buy background, but if it doesn't happen on its own, it doesn't have the same value. You get a lot of fake Instagram accounts that, okay, so you've got 30,000 people, but you don't know any of them. You have no personal basis with it. Just random names and pieces and faces. Part of the goals for next year, I need to get my website actually fully operational. I don't maintain it much because I do everything outside of it for the most part. Most of my sales are Facebook groups and whatnot within the watch and metals communities, some Instagram stuff, some face-to-face stuff with businesses. So I need to get that up and running. And one of my friends talking about building relationships with people, he's starting to sell credit card processing stuff with better rates than most that are out there. So I have to work with him and whatnot. A lot of the stuff that I sell is too expensive to go the credit card route. I'm not going to give your black card, 20,000 points just because you bought an expensive watch. There's too much liability in it, but just keep going. I've got a bunch of stickers coming for the Redneck watches. I need to get a little bit of funds together, and I'll be getting some t-shirts made. So that'll help just promote the personal brand issue side of it as well. And that's about it. I still plan on hopefully moving by the end of summer next year, but we'll see. I'm waiting to see what interest rates do, what wars we get into, and what my house values in the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's about
thanks.
it.
You know what I like about what you've talked about here is it's all those daily details, also the business details, just the things we have to do to keep things moving, and to just be aware of it keeps us focused on it. So I appreciate that. The other thing I appreciate is that you posted on Instagram where you were teaching your son how to drive, and that's a big deal. I mean, balancing our family life with all the other aspirations we have is always a big deal. So keeping that stuff posted makes you real as well. So I really appreciate that. And I taught all my kids to start driving when they were 10. So definitely have a heart for that. So thanks for sharing, Chris. I appreciate it. All right, Mr. Sean Fuller, I am going to open this up to you.
Howdy. So
Howdy.
Right now it is just a ton of marketing planning for the business that I work for. And so we just set goals last week, and now we're planning out all of our content shoots. We're planning out all of our seasonality with our marketing. So when to scale ad spend, when to cut back, everything like that. So it's just been a lot of goal setting and planning. And then on my personal side, it's been working towards a few fitness goals and trying to I kind of fell out of my hobbies, and then my life was work. So I'm trying to get back into shooting competitively. So that's one of my big things for 2024 is trying to go monthly, if not twice a month, to a competitive shooting competition.
Fantastic. Can I ask you a real quick question with your regular job? You said you were doing marketing and goal setting. What kind of, were they doing long range or were they doing medium range goal setting?
Yeah, it's been long range for next 12 to 24 months, and then also within the next 3 months. So we were laying out ad spend, revenue, ROAS, and MER for the next 3 months. And then we had some high level revenue goals for the next 12 to 24 months.
Excellent. And you're in the publishing field with that, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So again, we have to think long range with short term and long range. So what we launched off here talking about is what we're doing today. We're going to reap the benefits of in 3 months. And that's exactly what you've just illustrated, from a big corporate standpoint, what that means for the next 24 months as well.
Yes.
And as far as getting back into your personal hobbies, that's a real good reminder for all of us. It's easy to get wrapped up in work, and, keeping those personal hobbies well balanced with family. And I know that you're a single man, but you still have family.
Yes.
But you still owe it to yourself to, pursue those other interests. And again, just a good reminder for all of us. All right. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Craig, if you can unmute yourself and
yes,
hop in.
Rod, I have a quick question, Rod. What are you doing at 4:45 in the morning with videos?
I will do
Where are you going?
Where am I going? I'm actually going to do a whole special on this. One of these, probably coming up in the next few weeks. I will share another side of my life that I have with all of you. But
okay,
believe me, it's interesting. And this morning, it was 2:45 till 3 in the morning when I went live this morning. So but tomorrow it'll be 4:30. Well, 3:45 in the morning. So
Gotcha.
anyway, it's all good. I'm going to share all that with you guys here coming up soon because there are some valuable lessons in it. But it's all about you now, Craig.
Yeah. So, what do I have going on for next year? So, well, to finish off the year, I've got a bunch of certifications I've got to get for the new role that I'm in. So, 3 months ago, I was let go from Dell Technologies. I went back to an individual contributor role with a partner that sells Dell Technologies infrastructure. So it's been quite a shift in terms of pace of the job, and just trying to keep the energy going on a daily basis. Where I was working prior to that at Dell Technologies, I was probably putting in 35 hours a week, and I could focus on other things and try and build other stuff. But now I've had to put things on the back burner and just focus on trying to get acclimated into this new role. So laying out, some of those sales metrics and goals that I need to achieve next year in this new role are things that I'm looking at. We're also in the process of buying some property up in your neck of the woods. So we're trying to get that closed out and get that finished up all at the same time. And then hopefully start building next year. So there's a lot of things personally and career-wise that we've had to make a lot of adjustments through over the last 3 months. So trying to survive. That's about the end. That's about what we're doing right now.
Well, I have to say that, Craig, I appreciate that because it goes without saying to a lot of us, but this is hard. And I had this conversation with Riley just today. She's been tasked with things and it's hard, but we do what we have to do, but we can do it with enjoyment as well. So that's my top message overlaying all of this is, yes, we have lots of irons in the fire, and sometimes it gets hot and sometimes it gets uncomfortable, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. So just keep plugging away if that's all you have to do. Rachel.
Yeah, I think for now.
Yeah.
So, yep. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks, Greg. And just hang in there. It's all going to be good. So, you missed the first part of this call, but Jim launched this by challenging everyone to share what it is based on your conversation a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was, that, what we do today, we're going to reap the benefits of in 3 months. So what are you doing? And that's kind of the gist of it. And then you came in too late to know that we did a little office pool on how many outfit changes you would have. And Taylor won with 15. She was the closest and you were at 12. So just so you know, there were as high as 35. So we had high expectations for you.
So I'm glad that we're diving back in time to the batch content creation that was happening last week. Last week, we shot 3 days, full, like 10, 12-hour days each day. 1 day with me, and then 2 days with 1 day with another client and 1 day with another client. And so this goes to something that I've been preaching for a while. It's batching your content creation together. So when you see content rolling out every day, twice a day from people, they're not filming it in real time, right? They're batch doing their content creation. So this was, and historically, I did normally get closer to the 30 or 50 wardrobe changes a day historically. That was a really solid guess because that's true in the past. But Natalie Dawson is this female entrepreneur that I follow who I really like. And she's involved with Grant Cardone and is all about 10Xing. And she's always wearing black. I'm like, it's so timeless. And that way I don't know what season it is. And I don't know exactly if she's changed her outfits. And you know what? Men do it all the time. I'm like, why can't I just wear a lot of black? So I wore a lot of black and a few minor adjustments with a scarf or a different necklace change. And that was it. So it allowed us to get more done, cut down on the time change. And I have had those days where we're filming in downtown Orange and I'm changing my clothes in like the parking lot. It's like, I don't want to be doing that anymore. So a lot of black. And we filmed fitness videos, we filmed office videos, we filmed videos of me getting my hair done at my hair appointment, because it's real and authentic and genuine, and people want it like curated and planned. It's planned, but it's not fake, right? So like I had the way that I like to do this, and I can share it with you guys, is a content creation list. And there's 3 different ways in which I would recommend that you think about this. And you're one of 3. Okay. You're either the kind of person that just needs a list of topics, and then you're going to riff from there, and you're the one take wonder. Jim can do this. I can most of the time do this. It is not for everybody. The second type is, if you are not the one take wonder, then you need to have the 3 talking points that you're going to make for every topic. So like, let's say I have a spreadsheet that I give my clients. It's a worksheet where they have to put the hook, which is like the 2-second lead in at the beginning of what they're going to say to get your attention, then the topic, and then their 3 main topping points that they want to cover within that topic. Then there's the third kind of person on camera. This is the teleprompted type of a person. I had one client when we shot last week. She's the teleprompter person. Everything had to be teleprompted. And she's like Ron Burgundy. When she's reading that teleprompter, she will read whatever is on that teleprompter. And you have to really be listening on set to be like, did that make sense? Was there a typo? Did she just say the same thing twice? And she has no idea what she's saying, but she's brilliant. But as soon as you put the camera in front of her, like, it's not her gift. So you just have to be plan ahead so that you're set up for success with your content creation day, whether that's you need to get 40 videos, 50 videos, 12 outfit changes, 50 outfit changes, just as long as you've got a team working with you. And that's what one of the things I wanted to talk to everybody about tonight, honestly, as I'm looking at next year is I'm working with a videographer and an editor, and I like to always have my editor on set. Because the director is doing what he's doing. The editor needs to hear how things are coming together. And those side conversations helps the edit go so much smoother. Imagine, for instance, you go to a trade show, right? And you film a bunch of content, and then you give 3 hours worth of content in 5-minute clips, 10-minute clips, 20-minute clips to a virtual assistant. And you're like, here, go make some videos. And they're like, I don't know. What was important? What did you like? Are there notes with these videos? Right? They weren't there. They don't know. But imagine you brought an assistant with you. You brought your editor with you, and you're going around to this trade show and you're talking and you've got all these points, and they can bring it to life in a much faster, cleaner, more effective way. So editors always on set. That being said, I'm working with a videographer and a director and an editor to put a package together for you guys for next year, because I want any member of the Young Entrepreneur Syndicate to be able to get a discounted rate on a batch content creation package. Now, this is where I want some feedback, and you guys can think about it and let me know. But do you want it to be like, hey, listen, like, this is a team that will come to you, and here's a discounted price for them to come to you. And if you guys are geographically together, we can try to batch it, together. Or do you want us to work with you on how to film it yourself? That would mean like we would do a special call like this that was focused just on your filming and your setup and getting comfortable. And then how do you edit, and what programs are you using? Because you need to keep in mind that the editing is about 4 times as long as the filming. So if you film for an hour, you're going to have like 4 hours of editing. So it's a big, heavy lift to edit. So maybe you want to do part of it. Maybe you want to be in charge of the filming, but you want to have an editor, and we can get you a discounted rate on somebody who will work with you. So think about it, and maybe next week we can all talk about it. Because I really want everyone on this call to feel like they're supported in their ongoing content creation, because there really is no end to content creation. So that's, I think, the important thing that I'm thinking about for you guys for next year. And I'm thinking about it, obviously, for myself and for my clients. And I had one other thing that I wanted to ask you guys about is, and I'm sorry if you guys talked about it and I missed it, but all of the Chat GPT AI world that's happening, the most important thing and the secret is in the prompts. So the good prompts is how it's going to be of the most value to you guys. Now, I have a guidebook that I'm working on for you guys about prompts of how you can teach AI as you're giving it direction. I want to know if there's certain things that you are trying to accomplish with AI that you haven't had success with, or that you would like more guidance on, because that's an area that I am making sure that we're at the cutting edge of and the head of the curve. And I want you guys to feel like you're being educated, just like how people a few years ago were like, oh, I'm going to get Google certified, or I'm going to get SEO certified. Like, I'm putting together a program on prompting, because that's really where the value comes in with all the Chat GPT AI world stuff. So think about that. Message the group chat or the back end, or I don't know if you guys have talked about that recently at all, but does everybody
No.
know how to communicate with us? Anyway, any way that you can find us would be great. Let me know.
I would like you to weigh in on something real quick, Rachel, while we have you on here.
Sure.
With talking about the video editing and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Part of the reason when I get up early in the morning and I do a video, I do it because I told myself I have to, and I only have X amount of time to get it done. Okay. And it forces me to do it without looking at it again and overthinking it. Because if I'm doing a video on purpose, I'm never satisfied, and I end up, instead of doing one take like I do every morning, I end up doing 3 takes, because it's like, I didn't like the sound of that, or it was 15 seconds too long and I shouldn't have said that. So talk to us a little bit about perfectionism and what is and isn't necessary. And give me the right answer that I want to hear.
That's such an entrepreneurial thing. So my clients that get it, they all say with me, it's progress, not perfection. In those types of situations, there are certain things where you want perfection, and that's great. Other times it just needs to be progress, and you need to kind of get out of your own way, because think about the shelf life and the value of that video. The value of that video is, on the long side, it's 24 hours at the most, and then it's lost, but it's there, but it's not really giving you any value. So you shouldn't spend a whole lot of time on it. When I hear people, they're like, oh yeah, I took 6 hours and I wrote this beautiful social media post and it was so thoughtfully written. I'm like, no one's going to read that. I'm like, if it's longer than 2 seconds, they're not reading it. Like, don't waste your time. I'm like, make it a blog post, and then make it a blog, and then at least it's helping your SEO. So, I like that you do it every morning on the video, Rod. It sort of feels like if you were creating your own version of 75 Hard, that would be one of your daily tasks. It's about consistency and discipline and just doing it, every day. Which I think it's great. Also, I think it goes along with your personal brand. So I think that's another thing that everybody, we've talked about the brilliance of building your personal brand alongside your business brand. So I think you're hitting the mark there. But I told Jim the other day, we are overdue to record some original content that's high production value content for you, for him. I think there's going to be a trip to Montana in my future. I was going to try to wait till the snow melted, but I don't know. I might have to come before that.
Yeah,
Hey, Rod, I'll weigh in on that.
Yes, thanks. Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Rod. Yeah. So, by the way, Rachel, thank you, and we'd love to have you up in Montana. I want to just say a couple things about what Rachel said, and that was about one take wonders and all these other things. What you have to realize is that the homework that she gave you to perfect your videography and your pitch, I perfected that over many, many years, 2 years worth of TV, as well as PR school and communication school and speech school. And I already know what I'm going to say every time I get in front of a camera. But once you get to that point, you can be far more effective on the camera and deliberate exactly what you're going to say, not over deliberate on what you're going to say because you've already got it coming to mind. So I appreciate the compliment, but it's been a lifetime of getting to that point. The other thing I like what Rachel talked about is the fact that she's building out tools for everybody on this group. You have to remember, she said that you or your brand is not only your brand, but also who you are. And so if you're working on that, this could be one of those tools that will help you build out your personality and your presence in the public. When Rachel came up 3 years ago and did a photo shoot with me for my business, not only did it escalate my business and it gave people a better idea of who I was and why, but it lasted a really long time. I still use some of the photos that she took, and for different reasons and stuff like that. So she really was a great foundation for my business, and that applies to all areas of my business, whether that's my website or my social media or a professional photo somebody needs. So these are worthy investments to look into for yourself, or utilizing these tools for the company that you work for if they need them. So please look into what she's trying to pull together for everybody. In relation to the call, I appreciated everybody talking about what they're working on and speaking up. It's great to hear everybody's plans, endeavors, where they're going, their challenges, not only for me personally, but for everybody on the call to hear what you're up to, because maybe they can offer a hand or bring some value to you. But I also believe there's a lot of power in saying things outwardly in public amongst friends, the spoken word, as opposed to keeping it to yourself. So now there's a little bit of accountability there. Or for yourself, it's like, oh yeah, I told the whole group that I was working on this. So maybe it'll help get you over the hump. If you find yourself stuck over the holiday season, know that you've got some accountability partners here. So thank you for participating in the exercise, not jumping off before you could speak, or at least having a really good reason, Taylor. I know she's gone already. But I just appreciate people being bold, and I love to hear from the group. So Rod, thank you for pinch hitting for me. We had a teary moment. We grabbed a new puppy while I stepped away, and we're back on the road.
Cool. Well, Taylor, by the way, you didn't get out of this. Taylor jumped on the call late. So Taylor, what we're doing is everyone had a chance to update everyone on what they're working on, that they're going to reap the benefits of in the next 3 to 4 months. So if you could unmute, if you're able to, it's your turn to weigh in, because I'm taking notes on everybody. Talk about accountability.
Hello. Okay, I'm in my car. Hopefully you can hear me all right.
Yep.
So I definitely had every intention of coming back on and saying something, not because I have it all planned out, but because I need practice talking about what I'm going to do. So I appreciate the topic. So right now I'm working with my artisans on, and by artisans, I mean our leather artisans that are overseas, that manufacture our bag products, my designs. So I'm working with them on a couple different designs right now that will hopefully be launched by the beginning of next year, or at least by Easter is kind of my goal. But on top of that, I just really, and I have for a long time, but I really feel a pull to do a lot of what we're kind of talking about tonight, it sounds like, and that is getting more content that looks a little bit more professional. I, up to this point, have only been working with my iPhone, which is incredible. Like, we all know that they do amazing things and they're great cameras and stuff. So I'm really thankful for all of that and everything I've been learning with editing simple reels and et cetera, et cetera. But I'm definitely ready to, in my heart, I'm ready. In my budget, I'm working up to being able to hire like a photographer and a videographer to get some good content that I can use throughout the rest of the year, next year. So that is the brief synopsis of where I'm at right now. Thank you for asking.
You bet. Well, everyone, I appreciate you hanging in there while we had some technical delays to get this program started tonight. Again, I did take notes on what everyone's doing, not just for accountability, but it keeps my finger on the pulse of what all of you are doing. And it's kind of hard to juggle all the different personalities we have here, and many that aren't even on the call, and some who were and had to jump. I appreciate every one of you and what it is that you do and the value that you're bringing to your markets. It really is inspiring for me, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me proud of you. So if someone's never told you that they are proud of you and what you're doing and how you're doing it, I'll tell you all now, I am. And right down to you, Rachel. Rachel, you're a mentor for me, but I feel that, you know, you're also like a sister. And I'm just proud of you. I really am. And every single one of you on this call, it's nice to see what you bring, the value that you are bringing to your markets. It's inspiring. It's really, it keeps me going. It keeps me in the hunt. And I appreciate all of you. So unless there's another question, we've got 5 minutes, but I'll let you go early, seeing how we kept you late. Rachel, you do have something. Go ahead.
I do have something. I know that we bring up these topics every week and we kind of, you know, share some knowledge and wisdom, and then we open it up. But as we're looking ahead to next year, if there are specific things that you guys really want to hear about, please send us those as well. I know, you know, I'm thinking about AI, I'm thinking about content creation. You guys might have other things on your, you know, wish list that we don't know about. So, you know, please share that feedback with us. If it's easy, I can send like a little survey or something to the group. Maybe that would be a good way to capture it. All right, I'll put that together and send it out, because you know, that is how this relationship with all of us is going to grow.
Absolutely. I like that, Rachel. And I've got some other ideas too that I've been sitting on. Things are simmering underneath, but and I'll be reaching out to you on some of that also, that should bring value to the group. And how many of you on the call, I know some of you have younger children. How many of you have adult children on the call? I know Bruce, Heidi, you as well. College age kids, Craig?
Yeah, college.
College age kids. Okay. I'm working on some stuff on the college scene stuff. So we'll be pulling some of that together very shortly, and hopefully that'll bring value to your college children or college age, or if they've recently graduated even. But that's where my heart is, and we'll keep moving that way. And Chris, thank you. 3 grown step kids. I'll take that as well. Perfect. All right. Well, that seems like a wrap. Thank you, everyone, again for your patience tonight, and we will see you next week. Thanks.